Thank you so much. Thank you for having me this evening. You know, when I stepped through the gate, I was welcomed warmly by a student, then by two amazing teachers, and so I know I'm at a lovely school. And you do have a lovely principal. Please take care of her. Not many teachers can say that they have a lovely principal. So you do, so appreciate it. All right, I have some ball. Can you give everyone a ball for me, please? So we have, to your principal, have a little gift for everyone. Each of you take one, and you're going to write your name on it. Let me just continue. I was going to say thanks to the Lord. He's the head of my life. And I am absolutely nothing without him. So first and foremost, I have to big up Daddy Jesus in everything that I do. And then I want to say thank you to our wonderful principal for having me here today. And as an educator, I can relate to a lot of what was said by our doctor today. I can relate. And I can remember when I was in high school, a teacher did something. I got 100% in English literature, and this teacher, she would have me resitting the exam because she thought I had cheated. And I resited the exam and I got 98. And I'm saying this, and today I'm an author. And that lady made her way into my book. The teachers, be careful. You have authors in your class, be careful what you do to these kids. Because after 20 years, that's the only thing I could remember about her, what she did to me. She didn't believe in me. And she's in my book today, so be careful. I'm sure you want your author students to write good things about you. So, how my story all began. At the very tender age of 20, I decided to marry my high school sweetheart. Yes. How many of you had a crush in high school on somebody? Nobody? I guess I'm the only rude child here. So immediately out of high school, I married to my high school crush. We got married at 20, while other young people were planning to go to college. I was planning a wedding, and you know, it didn't end so well. But before I got married, I got an opportunity of a lifetime, and that was to go off to England and study. And I chose marriage over that scholarship. What a lovey! And I just want to encourage each of us that the opportunities that we get in life, sometimes they only come once, or sometimes they take a very, very long time to come back to us. So seize every opportunity that you get. And not that anything is wrong with getting married, but in life, sometimes we have to be a little bit selfish and put ourselves first. Because what should have been done, I should have gone ahead and gotten a good education, right? Yes, because marriage can always wait. Yes, it can. And I want to encourage us today to add value to your life. So at that tender age, I should be more focused on adding value to my life instead of taking on such great responsibilities. Because the more value you add to yourself, when two persons go into marriage and you add value to your life, then it makes it a better marriage when both of you are valuable. And so I encourage you to add value to your life. Even as a teacher, never stop learning. Even if you have a doctorate, learning doesn't stop after you've gotten your doctorate. Learning continues. And so I encourage us to continue to add value to our lives. Add value to our lives even beyond the classroom. Yeah, we should do that. Continue to add value to our life. And so that marriage did not last. And I experienced a very bitter season of my life. My husband got another child outside of the marriage, and then he left to be with that woman. And it was a very bitter season for me. And guess what? I didn't tell anyone what I was going through. I was going through, I felt betrayed. I felt like a failure. I was so ashamed. I didn't tell no one of what I was going through. And at that time too, I was not working. I didn't have a job. And I remember my daughter, she was about 7 years old at the time. And she came to me one day and she was hungry. And I had nothing to give her to eat because the only provider of the family was now gone. And I turned to that child and I said, I have nothing to give you to eat. And she said to me, Mommy, the Lord will provide. And that little girl, she went to a tree and she began to pick some leaves. And she ran to me and she said, Mommy, I have money. And you don't want your child to feel bad, so I took those from her and I put them in my pocket, and the Lord said to me, just count them. Count those leaves. And let me tell you, when I counted those leaves, the very next day, I got called to go to Western Union, every different currency. I got Canadian, pound, all of them. My families, they were just calling and just saying, go to Western Union. And that's the God that we serve. I want to say to somebody today that when man fail, man in general, not the male gender, but when people fail, God will never fail. And it doesn't matter what mistake you have made, He will not hold you to that mistake. Your mistake is in the past. And that ball, I want you to just write your name. All of you write your name on that ball that you are holding today. We'll get to that in a little while. So after the falling apart, I went into a season of poverty, depression. I felt really betrayed, the lost opportunity, the regret. And I started saying, my God, I should have gone off and studied. And the hurt, and all of those negative emotions, and guess what? I was not telling anybody. I was ashamed of what I was going through. And our speaker, he spoke of taking the classroom problem to home, but mine was the opposite. I was taking the home problem to my workplace. That's because, as he also mentioned, it is important for us to get help. And when we have these issues, do not cover it up. A lot of us, especially females, we get up every day, we dress up, and we put on the best clothes, and we put on the best smile, but deep down we're not happy. And we put on a smile for the world, And it's all for a show, it's all a facade. We are really sad inside. And I became suicidal as well. I became suicidal. Speaking of suicidal, I want to encourage you that your identity must never be rooted in your qualifications or somebody that you love or in any material things. Never place your identity. Your identity must not be rooted in your achievements, none of those. Because there's going to come a time when all of those, they're going to fail. And guess what? Jesus never fails. He is that solid rock that you can stand on because he's always sure. And so because this man left, the devil said, hey, you have nothing left. There's no reason to live anymore. And because my identity was in the wrong place, I believed everything that he was saying to me, and I wanted to end my life. And then I was not talking to anyone, so there was no one to say, Carrie, this is not the voice of God that was speaking to you. So you see how important it is to get help and not to keep everything all bottled in, because it's going to come back to haunt you. And so, to add to that too, after a while I nearly went crazy. I was not talking to anyone. I was just dressing up, going to work, and pretending that everything in my life was okay. Until I literally started hearing voices, and I said, no, this is not normal. Something is wrong here. And that's when I started and that's when I spoke to somebody for the first time. After years, I had all of that battle inside and nobody knew what was going on. So it's important to get help for what you are going through. And let me tell you the truth about these things. The past hurt and the wounds of the past. A lot of us, we suppress it or we push it under the rug and we tell ourselves we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And we try to be strong. But guess what? You're not healed. That pain, you're just suppressing it. And some of us, we become so, that pain, it becomes so a part of you that you become so numb. You suppress it so much that it's numb everything within you. And you think that you are okay, but you are not. But guess what? When these things, these hurt and these pain and these wounds, when they are in your life, they don't stay still. They bleed into everything that you do. And if you're carrying suppressed hurt or pain on the inside, it's going to bleed in your marriage. It's going to bleed in your job. It's going to affect the way you live your life, the way you spend your money. It's going to affect the way you teach your class. For me, at that time, I was not yet a teacher. And so when I was carrying all of these burdens and not telling anyone about it, I went to work one day and I snapped at a patient. And guess what? I got fired. So unhealed wounds, they come out one way or the other. And there are a lot of persons that when you listen to them, you hear the anger in their voices and they will tell you that they're not angry. But because you are on the receiving end, you are the one receiving it, you are hearing that anger, but you as a person, you have become so numb. And you have suppressed everything that you think you're okay. But these things, they bleed into everything that you do. And hiding it does not help you, because it began to affect me physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. I was going to church, yes, performing all my duties, but I was not healed. And that pain, and the thing is, when you have pain on the inside, it goes into everything you do. It affects the way you lead. It affects everything. And that was what was happening to me. I was just going around for years pretending that I was okay. On the outside, but deep down, I was hurting. I was suppressing all the things that I needed to let go. And I encourage us today, you've got to seek help. That pain that you are afraid to talk of, that pain that you are suppressing, that is the exact area that God wants to use for His glory. He wants to use it. He wants you to surrender it all to Him. And so for about 10 years, I was just not telling anybody what was happening in my life. And when anybody asks, I make all kind of excuses. But we have to get rid of the pain because it affects every areas of our lives. And so, when I decided to surrender my life or those pain to God, it was really hard. But guess what? I realized that I had to do it. In order for me to go to the next level, I had to let go and let God. And guess what? I didn't do it alone, and you are not going to do it alone. You cannot do it alone. Some of the things that you face, you're not going to overcome it alone. You will have to get help, and thank God for the person that He sent in my life. And I pray the same for you, that whatever you need to let go of, so you can go to the next level, that God will send the right people to help you and to guide you on that journey. And so every step of the way, God would send different people to help me overcome in different areas of my life. And it was probably about last year when the Lord said to me, you need to write this book. Because I help you to overcome, and other persons are carrying all of these burdens and they are not talking about it. I want you to do something for me, please. All of you, hold something up in your hand. Anything. Your phone, hold the ball. Just hold it up in your hand. Hold it up. Yes. And so God would send help. And then one day the Lord said to me, write this book. And you're going to tell my people it's time to be healed. It's time to stop hiding. All of those childhood traumas that you have suppressed and everything that you are carrying, it's time to let it go. It's time to surrender everything to me so that you can be healed. Because the very thing that you are afraid to talk about, that is where your purpose lies. That's the exact place. And somebody is waiting for you to overcome so they can receive hope that they can overcome too. Yes, they're waiting. And so I wrote this book, and the manuscript, I prepared my manuscript and I just have it there. There was no money to approach a publisher. For 3 months I had this manuscript putting down there, taking up dust. And I began to question the Lord. You told me to write this book, so where's the money to publish the book? And the Lord did not give me an immediate answer. But I got up and I found myself a publisher, and I said to her, I don't have any money, but I have a book that I need to be published. And I gave it to her and I said, give me 2 months and I'll give you some money. I see all of you put on your hand. Somebody come and tell me why you put on your hand. Somebody tell me, please tell me why you put on your hand. That's what happens when you carry pain and unforgiveness and regret and bitterness and hurt. That's what happened to your body. It affects you emotionally, physically, spiritually. It affects you. Yes, it does. Just as though your hand became tired. When you carry these things, your body becomes tired, your soul becomes tired and weary. And carrying these things might not affect you now, but it's going to affect you later. I am working with a client right now. She's 75 years old. And she's so sick, no medication cannot help her. From she was young, she carried all of these regrets and pain and unforgiveness. And now she is so sick. She has a similar situation to mine, but she did not forgive the man. And guess what? She owned and popped down, and the man who she not forgiving him, young, they're the same age, but he's young and strong. You don't want to be in that place. So it's time to be healed. No more hiding. It's going to, there's a saying, it's not the same day leaf jumping in water, it rotten, you know. And these things will not affect you now, but when you get older in your life, it makes you sick. And this woman, she's in so much pain, taking medication. She cannot sleep because her brain cannot rest. And then she's so stubborn, so I have to be asking God to give me the patience to help her because she's 75. I don't know how long she's going to be on this earth. And it makes no sense you stay 45 years in church and then go to hell. You're laughing stock to the devil. It makes no sense. So I'm really trying to help her because we don't know how long she have to live on that earth. And if she die like this, her soul is going to be lost. And so it's time to be healed. Sometimes you suppress these things for so long you don't even remember them. You push them aside and you ignore them. But today we're going to search ourselves. We're going to search our lives. We're going to ask God to help us to bring back those things that has happened to us that we don't remember, because they are still there and they will affect you one day. And when these things are in your life, they create open doors for the enemy to come in. I know persons who are in poverty, and I was so shocked because the poverty that they are in, it is linked to some unforgiveness. I didn't know that poverty, that these things affects your money. They affect your money. They affect your finances, because money is spiritual, not just physical. And so these unhealed areas, they affect every part of you. They affect every area of your life. And so we want to be healed, right? And so the Lord who told me to write this book, and I handed out the book. And after 3 months, not even $1 to publish the book. And I went to the publisher and I said, just give me some more time, man. And after 1 month, she came back to me. She charged me $1,500 US to publish the book. And she came back to me and she said, just give me $300 US. Look at God. And that didn't even go into her pocket because you have to pay for things like ISBN and all of those things. So she didn't benefit from that $300 US. But when God gives you a vision, He will fund it. A lot of you have dreams from childhood that you are sitting on that is not yet fulfilled, and you're wondering how we are going to do this. I encourage you, just start. Just make the first step. From a girl who had no money to publish a book. And just because I made that first step, the amount of speaking engagements I've been getting for this book, you just need to make the first step. Don't worry about the third and the fourth and the fifth step. Just take the first one. And don't leave behind an unfinished task. We all are here for a reason, and God has a purpose upon our lives. None of us is just here to pass time. There is something for every one of us to do. There's people for each and every one of us to reach in our own different ways. But just make the first step. Get rid of the fear and the doubt and the if not, what if not. Just get rid of all of the negative things and step out and watch God. And today, this book is here. And I remember I spent years praying for God to send that man back into my life. And my years of praying, it did not bring him back. It changed me. It made me a better person. You see, and that's what prayer is all about. Prayer is not about receiving from God. It's not about receiving. It's about you becoming a better person. And this topic for this book, I didn't choose this topic. The Lord gave me this topic because He wants to restore you physically, spiritually, and emotionally. He wants to restore you. He wants you to become a better version of yourself. A lot of us, we have some habits and we say, I saw we stay, I saw me bad, I saw my grandmother stay. No. There's a better version of you, and God wants you to step into that. The other restoration that I want to talk about, after losing a scholarship for 20 years, that scholarship was restored to me last year. After 20 years, I have another scholarship. So God not just wants to restore you physically, He wants to restore you spiritually. Everything that you have lost, He wants to give it back to you. If He doesn't give it back to you, it wasn't meant to be in your life in the first place. And so, this book is for each and every one of you, the restored woman. And I'm working on the restored man too. And then I'm going to work on the restored child, because we are taking back the family for God. And so restoration is a process. It's not about perfection. Restoration requires you to be consistent. Restoration requires you to be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself of all of those regrets that you're carrying. And I want to let you know that restoration is for everyone. All of us have been through something that we need to be restored for. All of us have been through. We have been through it, where our situations might be different, but God is saying, surrender it to me so I can take it and use it for your glory. And so what does a restored woman look like? A restored woman is one who has bounced back from the challenges that life throws at her. She has developed a positive mindset. She's forgiving. She learned to forgive. Even when she's in the right and others is in the wrong, she forgives. She's healed physically, spiritually, and emotionally. And she's walking into a better version of ourselves. And for a long time, I did not feel like myself, and I didn't thought anything of it. But when these hurt and these pain and these traumas, when we experience them, we lose a part of ourselves. And a part of our soul is shattered. And that's why some people, you may think that this is not me, I don't feel like me. Because a part of you has been bruised. A part of you has been battered and it needs mending. And so you will feel that way. Those persons who will say they have multiple personalities, there's nothing as multiple personalities. God didn't make us with multiple personalities. Those persons need healing. Their souls are shattered. And some of these traumas, guess what? You were born with them, because even from in the womb, some persons get attacked by the devil. Yes, you can be attacked from the womb. And so this book is here to help all of us to overcome. A restored woman, she reaches a place where she overcomes and she's helping others to overcome. Whatever she has been through, she's able to talk about it without fear, without being ashamed. And she's walking in her purpose. How many of us know our purpose? How many of us know why, the real reason why we are here on earth? That washing machine, the manufacturer sent a manual with it, and that manual shows you how to get the most effective benefit from the machine. That machine is here for a purpose. You and I, we are here for a purpose. We all are a solution to a problem here on earth. And we need to start thinking about it. We need to start acting like we are on purpose, like we are on business. And so I'm here to remind you that whatever you have been through, whatever dreams you have that you have given up on, or maybe you have given up on yourself, I'm here to tell you that you're going to bounce back. When your principal reached out to me, that's what the Lord gave to me. You're going to bounce back. And He showed me a ball. And I want all of you to stand on your feet. You're going to stand on your feet. And when the Lord showed me the ball, I began to think about the ball. I began to think about what makes it bounce. And I did a little research, and it says that a part of the material in that ball, it's the ball that bounces because of its elasticity. And so each and every one of you, you were born with something inside of you that when you fall, that when you fail, when you make that mistake, that you have that thing in you. It gives you the power to rise again. And so I just want you to space out and just pull that ball. Yes, that ball is you. That ball, you are that ball. You are going to bounce back. It doesn't matter how far you have fallen. It doesn't matter how deep. It doesn't matter how hard you put that ball down there. Guess what? It comes back up, won't it? Right back. Something is inside of you that makes you a winner. Something that God placed inside of you. You will never fail. Once you go down, you will come back up. And so I'm here to tell you that you are going to bounce back. Just like that ball. And I want you to keep that ball as your souvenir. Put your ball, put your name on that ball, and when you feel discouraged, you just bounce that ball. And tell yourself, that's me. I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna rise again. I'm gonna bounce back. That's the message the Lord gave me for all of you today. You're gonna bounce back. And he didn't just give me a book, but the workbook. I heard our doctor, he mentioned, what is it that works for you? And journaling is a very important tool in healing, in the healing process. Writing, it is very important for the brain. And so I don't just have a book, but the workbook is gonna come out in July as well. So as you buy this book and you read it, you have the journal. As you read, you're able to reflect and remember some of the things that has happened to you, and you just write it down in your journal. That workbook, it calls for deep reflection and healing. And so, just as we invest, you're all looking so nice today. And just as how you invest in your nice shoes, and a nice hairstyle, and a nice clothes, don't just invest in your outward appearance. Invest in the spiritual as well. Invest in things that will help you heal. Invest into things that will help your emotion. And that's what this book is for. It's a book of healing. And so I encourage you to get this book. It is available on Amazon, or if you want a signed copy, you can get it from me. The Lord said, tell my people it's time to be healed. And you're all God's people. And He wants you to be healed. He wants you to walk in wholeness. He wants you to be healed in body, soul, spirit, and mind. For you to experience the fullness of God, or for you to live your life to the fullest, you've got to be healed in every areas of your life. And so don't just invest in your outward appearance, but invest in your inner man. Invest in that inward healing. I have workshops that are coming up and conferences for women. I encourage you to reach out to me, be a part of it. I am available on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, where I just encourage people, women all over. And so I want to thank you, Madam Principal, for allowing me to be here. And I want to say again, you shall bounce back. Because winning is in your DNA. You're not a failure. You're not your mistake. And those unfulfilled dreams, they shall be realized. And there's a famous author, he said that when you die, you must die empty. When you die, ensure that everything that God has placed inside of you, every purpose, must be realized before you leave this earth. You shall bounce back. God bless you. So the book is here. You can talk to me. So out of pain, purpose came forth. And all of us have different situations, so we're going to have different purpose. Yours might not be a book, it might be something else. But when you spend time with the Lord, He will show you what you are here for. So we're all here for a reason, and this is my reason. You have different reasons. So God bless you. So So the cost of the book is $3,500. Right. Yes, if you're interested, you can talk to your lovely principal. She will get in touch with me, and the book will be available to you. God bless you.
Affected by kids.
Right, good afternoon everyone. All protocols observed. Miss Carrie Ann Kelly, on behalf of Elementary Primary, our principal, vice principal, teachers who are being celebrated today, we want to say thank you for accepting the invitation to be a part of our Teachers' Day activities. Takeaways from your lived experiences. Make sure we make use of opportunities, and some decisions on our journey may be unprecedented or seem to be out of the box, but they all add value to our life's journey, and most important of all, that we must be led by the principle the Lord will provide. And certainly what you have said today, truly from the heart, your experience, we will, whenever we fail or we fall, we will bounce back. Right, teachers? Yes, we will bounce back. In addition, your journey has served as a platform to write. Yes, and we are all encouraged to become more than just writers, but to write our experiences. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us, and the information given truly is appreciated and will become a part of as we go forward. Thank you so much. And this token here now is just a gesture of our appreciation on behalf of all of us. Thank you again. Give her a round of applause.